Good morning and welcome to another edition of Thankful Thursday with Mrs. Cott. I hope you've thought of something thankful from my last video, but if you didn't, think of something right now that you are glad you have or you are glad is part of your life. With Mother's Day being this Sunday, I've been thinking about my mom and my grandmas and everything they've done for us, and I'm very thankful for them. So, think of something for yourself. Got one? Good. Ooh, sorry, I was going to sneeze. All right, let's look at this. You've got a video up for your number talk already. If you haven't watched it, go back and check that one out. Make sure you did your answer in word form today. All right, I will help you with this momentarily. Make sure you've been practicing all things twos. You should have your multiplication and the division cards pulled out for this week. So make sure you found those and that you go through those one more time. We're going to move on to a new number next week, so make sure you've got that in your head. And you've got your last day of multiplication race games before we compete tomorrow. So make sure you've got those going on too. All right, let's take a minute. Before I show you the application problem and help you, I actually made up a little thing because we never really got to the chapter on review. That was one of the ones we missed and you'll have to make up with Mr. Stodolak next year. So I wanted to take 10 seconds and talk to you about area before we try to solve the problem on area. Most of you know either from last year or different problems we've done throughout the year that area is solved by finding the length times the width. That's how we do it. What it does is shows you what's inside a 2D space. For example, in our classroom we talk about the walls versus the carpet versus the air in the room. This one would be for how much floor space there is. How much can I actually fit onto a flat surface? Okay, so I drew you an area model, which is what some of you have been doing probably since 3rd grade with your basic facts and helping you to learn your basic facts. Looks like this. So to do 2 times 3, I have a space that's 2 times a space that's 3, and my answer is 6 because there are 6 boxes in there. Okay, that's kind of how area works. It just tells you what's going on inside that space. So if I was doing one that was a 4 by 3, and this will help you out tomorrow because we have something like that kind of tomorrow. You would make this one a little bit bigger. Here's I'll go 4 since that comes first. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces going across. Okay, and I'm taking that times 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 spaces going down. My answer will be 12, which you guys know from basic facts is true because that's what fills in by the grid. Okay, you notice in this you can look at it one of 2 ways. I have 3 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 3. Any of you on ST Math that have gotten to that level with the helicopter that brings in red blocks and kind of drops them down probably have a pretty good visual for this. Keep that in mind as I pull out your model drawing for today, because it is about area. So it says, sorry, my nose is all of a sudden wants to sneeze. Anisha is setting up play space for her new puppy. She will be building a fence around part of her yard that measures 29 feet by 12 feet. How many square feet of play space will her new puppy have? There's another phrase in there that I wasn't sure you guys would know. Square feet is a label for area. So the fact that it said square feet automatically tells me I'm hunting for area. You guys may not have known that because we haven't done a ton of that. So let's go back through this and chunk it out. Anisha is setting up a play space for her puppy. All right. She will be building a fence around part of her yard that measures 29 feet by 12 feet. How many square feet of space will her new puppy have? Okay. And I broke this up just so I can see it as 2 different numbers. That way I don't lose track of my numbers. But they do kind of go together, so I'd understand if you made that one chunk. All right. First things first. Fill in your sentence form. Make sure you get that word square feet in there because that'll be your label this time. And that comes, from this right here. If I had made this something like 4 feet times 3 feet, I'd still get 12 from my numbers, but then I have this label times this label, which if you guys remember back to exponents, could be written like this, and that 2 is for square. So you could also write it as square feet. That's where that comes from. Just a random fact for you today. So here we go. We got to write this out. Your sentence should be something about Anisha has blank square feet for her puppy or something like that. Make sure you got that label in there. All right, on to our picture. I still have a starting spot that I'm going to need. I'm talking about the puppy's play space. I'm measuring in square feet, not just feet. And I only have one puppy place, so I only need one bar. Alright, now this one's a little bit weird. Most of you that have done these kinds of problems in class have just known to fill in length times width, move on with life. But since we're doing it as a model drawing, you got to think back to this and how we have something like this going on. There's lots of boxes. So the way this is actually going to look in a model drawing is that I'm going to choose one of these things to have multiple times. Remember I told you it was 4 rows of 3 or 3 rows of 4. So I could split this up and say that I have 1, 2, 3 groups of 4. And that would be 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups of 4 equals a question mark. We got to do the same thing with these bigger numbers. So I can go up in my problem, look at my chunks. I see that I have a 29 and a 12. As far as marking things off, I think I'm going to go with 12. So I'm going to have 1 group, 2 groups, all the way up until the 12th group. And there's going to be 29 in each group. 29 little boxes in each group. My question is, how many are there? Okay. If you guys go up yesterday, as far as computation, since we've already talked about it being multiplication, I put a video up of the 4 different ways we do multiplication in class. If you are stuck on that one, go ahead and watch that video. It might just help you out. Okay? Have a great day.